Hey gang, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Happy Sunday to one and all. Happy turn back the clocks day. For those of you that had to work overnight, I'm very sorry. You just wound up working an extra hour because of that. A little bit of excitement here in Oklahoma last night. Yes, to those of you asking, we did have some rough weather through here. There's a big giant glob of thunderstorms that are making their way through the 405, where the wind definitely is whipping down the plane as we speak, and will continue to do so through tomorrow evening. There were some tornadoes in state. I don't know that any of them were nearby here. We didn't hear the sirens going off last night. We're doing fine. So thanks to those of you all that did check in on us. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. What I'm here to talk to you about today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is it is a very special time in the NFL season today. There's a game that takes place because of the rotation between the conferences, whereby a certain team from Georgia happens to play a certain team from Texas, and they have done so 7 times in the last 15 years since I met my lovely wife. And since she is a Cowboys fan and I am a Falcons fan, we, between us, have dubbed the game the Handy Bowl. We are now on to Handy Bowl number 7. Since we have been together, the Falcons did pull out to a convincing 3-0 lead. Of course, that was during the Matt Ryan years. Matt Ryan has since, moved on and retired. We've been through a couple of quarterbacks since then. The Cowboys, on the other hand, been pretty steady with Dak Prescott. Take that for what you will, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. He's either a great quarterback who's capable or a guy who chokes in the playoffs. However, Dak and the Cowboys have managed to even it up to 3-3. The last one was a horrible 43-3 drubbing. I had to wear a Cowboys jersey and go live on the internet and tell everybody how great the Cowboys are and you guys were the better team and blah. But that's what I'm here to talk about today. Handy Bowl 7, Cowboys Falcons, as you saw earlier, that game is at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. So in about roughly 25 minutes, and it's on Fox. So if you guys want to check that out, here's what we got going on. If you look at the stats, the Falcons' stats as stacked up against the rest of the league, it's fairly even with some exception to third down conversion. The Falcons are a little below the median of the rest of the league in third down conversion, but they are at 60% on fourth down conversion. I mean, you name it, rushing, passing, defense, interceptions thrown. It's even Stevens all the way down the board. So we can't really say that the Falcons really are doing better than the Cowboys stat wise. What we have seen though is a resurgence in esprit de corps, if you will, as the Falcons have begun to gel. I will admit, I'll be the first to admit, I had my misgivings about Kirk Cousins in his mid late 30s with the restructured Achilles tendon and what he would be able to contribute to the team. But what he has done for that team is they have surrounded and they support him and they believe in him and he believes in them. And the Falcons are sitting at 5-3 right now. This being a home game in Atlanta, there is that concern just because Atlanta has not done well at home this year. However, and Dallas has before let me get to the before the however. And Dallas has a good away record. I believe they're 3-1 right now, but their 3 wins are against the following teams: the Browns, the Steelers, and the New York Giants. And at the time they played the Steelers were still kind of figuring out the quarterback position. That was earlier in October, about a month ago or so. But as you can see, that is starting to turn the corner, and the Steelers are now 5-3. But at the time, those 3 teams they played, you see where they're sitting right now. The other 2 of the 3 teams that they played, you see where they're sitting right now. So don't put a whole lot of faith in that. I do think that one of the drawbacks for this game for the Cowboys, they don't have a rushing attack. Yeah, they brought back Zeke, but we remember Zeke. We remember rookie Zeke. We remember year 2 Zeke. This is not that same Zeke. They're averaging, if the stats are right, I don't have it here on the screen. They're averaging about 50, just fit between 50, 60 yards a game. What that means, what does that mean, Anthony? Well, I'll tell you. What that means is that the Falcons are going to just sit back in the cut and wait for Dak to start throwing it because they know that's all he's got to lean on. And in addition, the Cowboys missing four crucial pieces on their side for this game today. Um, Deron Bland, Michael Parsons being one and two. And knowing that, I do sense that we're going to see a lot of run plays. I think the Falcons are going to have a good balance of run and pass. They're going to use the run to set up the pass, and it is going to be a marvelous thing. Now, if it does come down to Dallas being able to keep things close and kick and scratch and fight, and keep this close during the game and it comes down to a last minute, even then, I'm not really worried. Why? Oh, there's a kicker that they got, and they picked him up from Georgia Southern by the name of Yang Wei Koo. And the kid is almost automatic. Haven't seen him miss a whole lot of field goals. So if it does come down to it, I'm confident that Yang Wei Koo will be able to split the uprights and secure the dub for the Dirty Birds. So, having said all of that, what does that mean? What does that mean? What are you saying, Anthony? What I'm saying is that I think that the Falcons are going to win this game today. Vegas right now has the odds at 2.5 points in favor of the Falcons and a 57.8% win percentage for the Falcons on the ESPN website as well. I'm not really one on doing scores. I do them because it's a bit that we do on the college show. But if I had to take a stab at it, I would say that this is going to be something along the lines of the Falcons somewhere in the neighborhood of 28 to 30 and the Cowboys around 19 points. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. Cowboys 19, Falcons 30. Falcons win, move on to 6-3 and 4-3 in the Handy Bowl. And the Cowboys, yeah, they secure another loss, and then we will hear more talk about their owner, who I'm sure you will see again in the. If you missed it, did you notice that I put him in the opening montage? If you didn't, don't worry, it's going to come back around when I close the show down. So, having said all of that, I'm going to get out of here because I have a few things that I have to do. Please make sure you tune in tomorrow evening. Colin and I will be back. We'll be talking about the first half travesty and the second half triumph for the Bulldogs at the Georgia Florida game and everything around the SEC. And Reverend Red and Black will have a prediction for Ole Miss. We may talk a little bit about some of the games that are tied to CFP implications as well, so you don't want to miss that. But having said all of that, let me get out of here. And I've said haven't said all of that twice, which means that I've rambled a little longer than I wanted to. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my rain slicker because it's supposed to rain until Monday evening. Y'all pray that we don't float away, and we'll see you tomorrow. Go dogs and dirty birds, rise up.